You, sir, are not welcome here.
Dr. Ice said sternly as he pointed at Shidoshi.
Aw, why not? Everyone here knows me.
Shidoshi asked as he corruptly laughed a little, leaning against the hallway wall.
I'm not sure I like your attitude. Now I'll kindly ask you to leave this place and not harm anyone here.
Dr. Ice tried to ask calmly the best he could as he took a step forward toward Shidoshi.
Who said I was going to hurt anyone? All I need here is peace, Ninja. It's really that simple, Doc.
Shidoshi explained, getting a little annoyed as he stopped leaning against the wall and took a step towards Dr. Ice. Peace took a step away from the two as she started to become nervous. Dr. Ice stepped in front of her and took out a diamond axe from his inventory.
I'm afraid I can't let you do that.
Oh, is that so?
Lita stepped forward and pulled out her bow to try and help out Dr. Ice.
Yeah, that's right.
You sure you want to be speaking to me like that, Colin Candy?
Shidoshi asked sarcastically as he started to pull out his katana.
Why, you...
Lita started to say as she started walking towards Shidoshi, but was stopped by Vera.
Hey, this is not your fight to win.
Lita put away her bow and grumbled to herself, but kept watching what was happening from a safe distance.
You leave her alone, or I...
You do what? Hurt me? Ha! Like that will do anything.
No, just stop it, corruption.
Coral shouted but covered her mouth on realizing what she had just said and backed away.
So you did tell someone about what happened to your friend. I thought someone like you would do that, Peace.
Shidoshi said as he started to smirk a little.
It's okay, everyone. We will settle this outside. Away from all the valuables.
Peace Ninja said, looking at all the machines and her friends.
Ah, too crowded, huh? I see.
Shidoshi said as he started walking down the hall and back up to the service. Peace starts walking after him and looks back at Ice, trying to reassure him that she will be okay, but he could tell that she was faking it. Peace makes it to the surface and sees Shidoshi facing away from the entrance.
So, how are we gonna do this? Blah!
Shidoshi asks as he turns around but gets knocked out by Peace Ninja, punching him in the face. Peace observed Shidoshi as to make sure he was fully knocked out. She began to try and drag his body over to the entrance and found that he was a little heavy. Not knowing how to use the power of super strength, she realized this will take a while to get him down the ladder. After 10 minutes, she finally made it down into the lab again with Shidoshi still unconscious.
Well, that took longer than expected.
Dr. Ice stated as he walked up to Peace, who looked like she was about to pass out.
Be quiet. I didn't realize how heavy he would be.
Peace Ninja complained as she looked up to face Dr. Ice.
You need help?
Dr. Ice asked as he started to pick up Shidoshi. Peace Ninja quickly yanked Shidoshi by the legs across the ground, clearly struggling.
No, I'm fine.
Dr. Ice sighed and began to follow her. They made it back at the end of the hall and met with everyone again.
So, where are we going to put him, now that he is asleep?
Iceblade has a place that will work.
Peace replied as she started dragging Shidoshi to the door on the right end of the room.
It'll keep him in?
Yes, it will. He doesn't have the powers I have.
What are you talking about?
Aurora asked as everyone else was starting to question the same thing.
Follow me.
Dr. Ice sighed as he went over to the door Peace was at and opened it for everyone to follow.
Yeah, a new adventure!
Ozo said, jumping up and down, and then proceeded to follow everyone.
Just please be careful.
Dr. Ice said as he closed the door once everyone entered. Everyone except Coral, Peace, and Dr. Ice started to become shocked and amazed at what they were seeing. All the walls were covered with blue ice, cracked stone bricks, and iron blocks.
What the hell happened in here?
Vera asked, turning to look at Dr. Ice. Everyone else seemed to be doing the same to see what his response would be.
A highly failed experiment.
Dr. Ice said, starting to look down. He started walking down one of the tunnels that led to who knows where.
Oh, so how bad did it fail?
Well, as you can see.
Okay, Ice Blade, we get it. It was that bad.
Are you sure you want to be laughing?
Vera asked, a little annoyed as she turned to look at him. Jin looked around and found that Peace and Dr. Ice were also annoyed at him as well.
Sorry.
Jin apologized nervously. Meanwhile, this was all happening. Pollyanna was still watching Keith in the jail cell.
Peace and the others will take forever.
Pollyanna said as she started pacing back and forth in the room.
You know, in this scenario, it would usually be the one in the cage complaining, not the one on watch.
Hey, didn't I tell you 50 times to be quiet and not speak?
Pollyanna yelled as she banged on the cell, causing Keith to fall over in the small chair he was sitting in.
Yes, you did. 55 times to be exact.
Keith replied slowly, getting up.
I can't believe Peace Ninja took my sister instead of me. I mean, I have more experience than her. I know how to do more things than her.
This is exactly why she didn't take you in the first place.
What do you mean by that?
What he's trying to say is that you only think of yourself, you are annoying, and don't really care much about others and what they think.
Daniel replied as he and Mio entered the room, looking a little irritated.
Is that correct, Keith?
Mio asked as he turned his gaze to face Keith.
Yeah, that is basically what I meant.
Oh, you guys are so rude. I can't believe I'm stuck here with you guys.
Then why don't you just leave?
Fine, I will.
Pollyanna replied as she stormed off in a huff.
Finally, she left.
Was all of that an act?
No, it wasn't.
Mio snapped as he turned away from Daniel and Keith.
She has always done this. Me and Mia were here at one point. Pollyanna did not like the fact that both of us were not talking to anyone, even though we never knew each other.
She forced you guys to be friends?
Keith asked, a little shocked on hearing what he had just heard. Mio turned back to face Keith and shook his head, saying yes, as he started to remember what happened that day when he met Daniel.
Now, you two will stay here until you both are friends. I don't care how long it takes.
Pollyanna had said as she threw him and Daniel into the jail cell.
But
don't talk to me. Talk to him.
You're so mean.
Shut it.
Pollyanna yelled back. Mio opened his eyes to see Daniel and Keith looking at him with worry.
And that's how we became friends.
That's terrible. So why are you guys down here then?
Right before Peace Ninja and the others left, she had told us something.
Daniel informed as he started to remember what Peace had told him.
Keith is in the jail, and I told Pollyanna to watch him. I want you two to distract her, or something to get her away from him, so you guys can bring him to where we are going.
And then she told us everything that we needed to know, and gave us these awesome spears!
Daniel explained as he and Mio pulled out spears that were white and light blue for Mio, dark gray and blue for Daniel.
No way.
Keith said in excitement as he got closer to the bars of the cell to get a better look at the weapons.
Yes, way.
No, I mean no way and no way! Your leader was the first entity player to ever exist!
You mean... Mio, help me get him out of here!
On it. Stand back, Keith.
Mio replied, not fully understanding what the two of them were talking about, but did as his friend had asked.
Okay.
Keith replied as he backed away from the bars of the cell as far as possible. Mio and Daniel aimed their spears at the cell and rammed into the cell, causing a huge bang, but creating a hole in the cell so Keith could get out.
You know you could have just opened the door, right?
Keith reminded as he walked over to the two and helped them out.
Oh. Yeah. You're right.
Mio said sheepishly as he dusted himself off and looked at the door.
Skipping that fact, where do we need to go?
Oh, right. Come on, follow us.
Daniel said as he started running out of the jail. Back at Dr. Ice's lab, Iceblade is showing everyone around the messed up tunnels of his lab.
And this place down here leads to an elevator that goes to...
Hey, Iceblade, I'm gonna go check something real fast, okay?
Peace said, looking a little pale.
Okay.
Iceblade replied, a little confused, but showing everyone around. Peace Ninja started walking away from everyone and towards the room Shidoshi is being held in.
What's going on? Why do I feel so strange all of a sudden?
Peace says to herself as she enters the room where Shidoshi is in and grunts as she falls unconscious. Peace starts to dream of when she was traveling to find a way out of the game for her friends.
What a strange place.
Peace said as she looked around the snowy landscape. She saw a pillar of ice in an igloo.
Huh? Who is that? They don't look like a normal player.
Iceblade said to himself as he neared his home. The closer he got, he started to sense the powers Peace had and started to think she was a threat to his home. He quieted his walking and tried to sneak up on her.
I wonder what this is. Ugh!
Peace Ninja started to question, but as she turned around, she was knocked out by Iceblade. Peace woke up in a room made of obsidian and glass. Beyond the glass, it seemed like she was in a lab, but the walls and ceiling made up of iron.
What happened? Wait a minute. Why am I in an obsidian room? Well, one way to find out, and it might hurt a little.
Peace said to herself as she tried to teleport through the wall of glass and into the room.
I thought that would hurt. Oh well.
Peace said, realizing nothing had happened, and started exploring beyond the lab room she was in. She looked at all the walls of the tunnel she went through, and they seemed to be damaged by ice, stone bricks, and iron. She went down a few stairs and down a hall, and more stairs to enter a room with Iceblade asleep on a bed in the corner.
Oh! So this is who took me here?
Peace said aloud, not realizing how loud she was speaking. Iceblade started to wake up and found that Peace Ninja was out of the room he had put her in.
Huh? Hey, how did you...
Iceblade started to panic, but was cut off by Peace, who went over the many books in his room.
Obsidian doesn't block my powers. I'm surprised you even knew I had powers in the first place. I wouldn't hurt you, though. I can tell your main goal is not to hurt me to the point where it kills me.
How did you...
Iceblade tried to ask as he got off of his bed.
I'm special, I guess.
Peace Ninja said as she looked up from the book she had picked up.
Huh? What's your name?
Peace Ninja, leader of the entity players. And you?
I am Dr. Ice. You may call me Iceblade.
After Iceblade finished talking, everything seemed to glitch to pitch black.
What is that?
Peace started to say as she started to see a figure that looked like her but seemed to have evil vibes.
Peace Ninja.
Iceblade yelled as Peace started to wake up but looked very scared.
What was that?
Interesting.
Shidoshi said to himself as he observed everything that had happened from when Peace had entered the room.
Yay! Great! More surprises!
Be quiet, Shidoshi.
I know you saw it. Iceblade.
Huh?
Peace Ninja, what happened? Did that crazy player who can't control any of his own experiments do something to you?
Vera asked, panicked, as she started to enter the room and saw Iceblade trying to help Peace up.
Whoa. Excuse me. I was trying to help her.
Vera, it's fine. You're not my mother. He was just trying to help.
Peace reassured as Iceblade helped her to stay up on her feet.
What I want to know is what happened to our leader.
Lita asked with worry as she and the rest of the group came into the room.
She just... Should I tell them?
Iceblade sighed as he looked at Peace Ninja.
Go ahead. It's best if they knew about it. Anyway.
Peace replied, still having trouble standing up on her own. Iceblade nodded back and looked at all of her friends.
When Peace Ninja came here for the first time, I thought she was dangerous because I could tell how powerful she was. But when she got out of here and didn't lay a finger on me, she proved me wrong in my suspicions. So when she told me the next day she needed help getting out of the game to see if it was possible so she could help you guys, I didn't mind, but when she went in the machine, something happened. It was programmed to send her into the real world. It did, but something came out of it.
What happened?
Dark Peace happened.
Who's Dark Peace?
Ozo asked, tugging his brother and Aurora.
They sound scary. Don't worry, they won't hurt you. Right, leader?
Ozo asked as he turned his gaze from Aurora to Peace Ninja.
Don't worry. I won't let them lay a finger on you guys.
Peace said, trying to smile through her pain.
As long as you control yourself, everything will be fine.
Dr. Ice reminded in a calm manner. Shidoshi, still listening in, took this as a chance to provoke Peace Ninja a little.
He's correct, you know. Lose control, and you'll lose it all for good.
I will never be like you, corrupting other people. I can control myself.
Oh, really? But you're already starting to lose it.